And then let's make this big. Are we gambling FOMC? Yes, we are. Get ready. It's time to gamble, guys. I'm gonna give you guys all the 100% right bias. Trust me with every inch of your bones. Every single inch on your body of centimeters, of millimeters that you possess. Use all of it and channel your energy into the signal that I'm about to give. Short in 5 seconds. Full port short right now. Financial advice. Go for it. Right now, you got 1 second. On demo. No, on live. What do you mean demo? We don't do demo around here. Brother, you gotta go live funds. Real money, baby. Throw that shit into the market. My house on you? Perfect. Sounds good. It's a bit little for my likings, but I mean, if that's all you have to offer for a full port, then, I'm not gonna blame you. Not everyone is as well off as, other people, so just the house should do, I guess. Maybe. Hello, Murad. This guy's finna hammer me with questions. Rah! Okay, so this is a Q&A. I'm pretty sure that we wouldn't get too much going on in here because people are busy full porting, but we're gonna start in 5 minutes so that we can let people join up. And you guys ask dumb questions and I give you good answers. That's what I do. And I am talking, in fact. Check your settings. I am talking loud and clear. You have to focus. Study, bro. You have to study. What are you doing, man? Why are you throwing your life away? Why did Kiki just join? What kind of shit is this? Someone's stealing my flow. Very nice FOMC release. Lovely. I'm sure a lot of you guys are already balls deep in this market. Losing your hard-earned shekels. Not me, though. Hello, Usrus. Alright, I'm gonna be right back. At 2:05, you can start. And then we get cooking. I'm back. I'm here. I'm alive. Wait, he's coming? Yes, that's what I'm doing. That's kind of what people do. They come and they go. And here I am. You didn't ask, and yet I answered. Bro, I still find it hard to when to target more draws. Is it logical to target past a draw for 2R? How to use the average daily range? And this problem's confused me on when to stop looking for entries. So I think you and I have went over that a couple of times. Goes back to the exact same thing that I like to talk about. Let's go into a 5-minute chart for Tuesday's trading. And I'm going to mark out our sell side level from here. There we go. I think that should be right. And we're going to zoom in. We're going to look at this here. Let's go 2 candles forward. Okay, assuming this was an entry that makes sense and you have some sort of confirmation to take a trade right here, and that's something that you would trade for your system, and you have your stop on this high, and you're looking to target this low. This low is being targeted because that is our nearest higher time frame objective, being that daily low from Friday, right? So when you're looking at that, you have to understand that in terms of how price moves on the higher time frames, it's going to be looking to run out this level and potentially form a reversal. Now, can it go through this level further into 2R? Yes, it can, right? That's something that's potentially there in terms of a continuation. But the issue with a setup like this inherently is that you only have a framework of understanding from your entry down into this low. And everything down here is just gray area, right? You can't tell whether it's going to trade 10 points below this low, whether it's going to do 20, whether it's going to do 25. I think a lot of the standard deviation jockeys are going to come up here and tell me they're going to pick the low of day. I'd like to see them do that every other day. But the issue with that inherently is that if you're taking a trade that's not positioned at least 2R to your draw, I think this one might be, should make it a bit more feasible. Look at that. So this here is providing you 2R to your draw. You're always going to be working with a little bit more of risk, right? You're really accepting that this sort of entry is going to cost you. It's a bit more dangerous, and you can't have certainty. The key word here being certainty. You need to stop seeking certainty in things that you can't control, such as knowing if the market would go deep below this low to your 2R target or not. Now, when would I be applying the ADR in this case? If you look at this day, Asia opened and we've done nothing but sell off all morning. So on the far end of the daily open, high, low, close, and let me see if I can draw this out for you guys, show you my amazing drawing skills. Check this out. The daily open is here. This is our current daily low. We're going to bring this over here, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be doing this. Make this dark, get a nice little line through it. So on the far end of the daily candle that's printing to the downside like this, how confident are you taking a short here, for example, right? If the daily candle looked like this, then you could maybe work with that sort of logic, even if there's a reversal level prior to our draw, because you've still got quite the ADR to work with, right? It's giving you enough potential to get a decent trade-off. But when you're working with something that is literally positioned down there, and you've got all this range down, and you want to be getting in down here and look for 2R below a logical reversal level, then this is not the ideal sort of thing you can do. If you really want to filter it out, just don't take trades that don't offer at least 2R into your draw, because at that point you could reasonably be taking partials, or maybe you just, how would you say, you can trade your stop to break even and just accept whatever outcome. Or if you have a daily range that is not really fully expended, maybe the daily candle looks a bit more like this, then reasonably you could assume that we're still pretty early in the daily range. New York has a lot of potential to do movement, and therefore this move is fine to take. And that sort of touches back to my PDF I made, where I spoke about favorable New York session in relation to ADR. I'm going to pull up that slide real quick, and I'm going to show you that on stream. Give me a second. Oh, where do I find this? Useful information. Nope, not here. Okay, there we go. I'm going to pull this up for you. Give me a second. Like this. I'm going to go here. And where are we? I think it's down here. There we go. So if you're just looking at this, you've got, assuming we're working with a 280 point average daily range, if we're really close to that, up to 235 points by the time New York comes around, as you can see in this example, you're really left with reasonably 45 points of range to work with based on recent ADR. But it could go further. That's just not something that you're guaranteed. But the risk you run is that when New York hits, it's more likely to hit the draw and then reverse off of that because it's already spent the daily range, and from a higher time frame standpoint, it's met the draw that it was looking to meet. And so therefore, in those sorts of situations, you want to be playing it safe. Let's get rid of this. Go back here. You're welcome for everyone who went short. Oh, no PDF. You guys can't see that. I cooked you guys. Yeah, let me see if I can just pull it up in chat. That would probably make things easier. Give me a second. There we go. I just uploaded it. Let's change the screen real quick to this. All right, there we go. It's gonna ask me to download it. That's fine. I'm gonna open here, and let me know if you guys can see this. 1 second. Can you see this here? One sec. Screen 2. Now, can you see this? Is this visible? Yes? Okay. So I'll go back to the slide. Same idea, right? As I was explaining here, when you're working, it is just an example, but you shouldn't take it at face value. I'm not saying that the average daily range is 280 points. That's not what I'm saying here at all. I'm saying assuming the ADR is 280 points. We're working with the understanding that you have a ADR, a number that you're working with, and you want to be using that number as a framework for a potential deep trade on a following day. And so when Asia makes a low, London makes a continuation, and New York is looking to continue the trend, but you can only reasonably expect 45 points. Anything beyond this gray area, as I once again noted, you don't want to be positioned too deep in here. The more breathing room you have here, the better it is. Ignore this value completely. This 280 points was just a number I chose, just at random. It has nothing to do with actual average daily ranges because they change constantly, right? But this should pretty much cover everything in that regard. Now let me get rid of this and go back to here. And then let's hop back onto, wait a minute. There we go. Nasdaq chart is open. Did it run the lows? Yeah, it did. Okay, nice. Happy, happy, happy. Can't see PFD. $148,242.50. I think that gets you maybe like half a month in the lens. Get like half a month, maybe a quarter month. That should be good enough. Or you could pay me that money and I'll get you like 24 days. You can negotiate obviously, but 24 days should be in. All right, for everyone just joining, this is a Q&A. You guys can ask dumb questions. I'll give you good answers. I'm just going to roll with that because I'm pro bono. And that's pretty much the gist of that. Do you trade the expansion model? Yes, I do. Do you use 7-hour chart? No. I don't use it myself, really. I utilize it when I'm doing education things, specifically for Lens, right? I wouldn't put that stuff online. But in terms of my own trading, it's not really that relevant. I'm just so accustomed to ICT's daily profiles, and I've been using those for as long as I can remember, so I don't really work with that 7-hour stuff as much in my trading. Why do you prefer the expansion model over GXT? Because I like to be more discretionary and I like to trade less, if that makes sense. I tend to risk heavier, and so therefore the majority of my time I'm really just looking for specific setups. I don't need to have T-Trade's fractal model, time frame alignments to get in a trade. I can get into trades, with a bit more flexibility, and I'm not trading as much as there's not as many opportunities with expansion. I think I'd find much more with GXT, but I don't want to be trading every single day, risking less and pressing buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Do you trade similar to Nico? Nico and I trade the exact same. I'd actually honestly even say that Nico trades more discretionary than I do, better probably as well. He gets more flexible than myself with some trades, and it gets him some really nice stuff going at times. You only use the 3 daily profiles on the blueprint. Yeah, I mean, in terms of a daily profile, there's one more that I could have probably added into the blueprint, but it's such a strange profile and it's very, very rare, so I don't include it. But the baseline is that the only profiles I really care to trade are the consolidation rate on news release, the Asia or London low, and then the New York reversal, right? Those are the only high probability profiles, right? Seek and destroy profiles, that sort of stuff, I don't want to trade. I don't want to trade intraday profiles where New York consolidates and PM expands because I don't want to trade the PM session. It's not my session to trade, and stuff like that. So the profiles that I listed in the blueprint are the ones that I actually use and that I can make sense of. This might go for a swim. I wouldn't mind if it can close through here. That would be pretty cool. Prefer upside though after this low. How to filter out low probability days or conditions in general. I did a whole lecture on this on Tuesday. How do I sum this up as quick as possible, as simple as possible? I mean, if you really want to make it as easy as it needs to be, if you want to filter low probability days, don't take trades outside of specific kill zones when there's a clear high time frame narrative, and don't take trades when the average daily range is spent, and also don't trade days when you see a problematic open. Like for instance, if we run a draw, like let's say that this was the price action prior to 9:30, the chances of me trading 9:30 here, if this is the daily profile, is very slim because this is our daily candle. We opened here, ripped up immediately. Now we expanded down into this draw. If 9:30 comes in here, chances are this is likely to consolidate because it doesn't make sense for a reversal. We've just printed our open to high and low, and it also doesn't make sense to keep expanding massively at 9:30 because of how large the day already is. So just keep an eye on the day's potential, on key levels, if it's ran a key level or not, if there's any reasoning to believe that it shouldn't continue from where it's already at, and you should be good. I've been trading GXT, got some good knowledge from Garrett, but it's been too much. The way Garrett is trading seems so unrealistic compared to Am or Nico. I haven't seen how you trade. Trying a strategy hop, lol. So I think using Garrett as the benchmark for GXT is probably the most brutal thing you can do because the guy's a beast. I mean, he's on multiple assets every single day, and he's always finding his opportunity, and he knows it by heart. So I wouldn't be expecting that you could replicate that. And I'll tell you openly, I can't replicate it. I mean, not even close. If I even tried to attempt what Garrett does, I wouldn't manage. And there's no shame in saying that, right? That's just not going to happen. You should, if you're trading that model, you can either work with the understanding that, I don't need to be catching every single move like every other trader that's trading this. I can just get mine and be happy with it and work on your frequency. Or if you want to trade a less frequent, more discretionary, bit more comfortable style, then expansion would probably be a good fit for you. Can you walk me through a top down? Oh my god! I've done this like 5 million times. I'll do it 6 million. Alright, give me a second. Kiko, as you told me earlier, to be sure that I take high probability entries, always wait for 9:30 and a purge before entering. Yeah, I mean, in terms of trading the open, if you wanna increase your win rate immediately, just don't trade overnight. It's so much more. I mean, the rewards are there, but it's so much more difficult, and it takes a lot more experience and understanding, and you need to work with a bit of a higher time frame. So if those are things that you can't get accustomed to, just stick to 9:30. Wait for 9:30 to run stops so that you're not positioned prior to manipulation, and just trade the reversal or off of the reversal into the direction of the draw. That makes life so easy. That's what I was doing. Primarily, I was trading 9:30 only on a like 5 to 3 minute chart for a good 3 months, I think, from November to January. And my win rate was 65%, I think. And it was some of the best months for me trading wise on my account. So I can only speak for that. But as you get more experience, as you get more comfortable with things, you can open yourself up to more opportunities, right? It sucks for me to keep preaching people to only trade after 9:30, and then they wake up and they see that I entered at 8 p.m. Eastern time and I'm holding the entire day's range. but that's just, that's something that it's a risk that I'm willing to take, and it's also something that I've learned over time and studied to be able to take that sort of trade. It doesn't mean that you need to jump in today and try to do that. You'll have more than enough opportunity trading after 9:30 and a much better reward for it. I'm moaning because I'm exhausted. Sniper Aline Barb says, don't fade the small wick. Weekly has small wick. I'm gonna fade that small wick. You have no clue how hard. I don't even know yet. I mean, for me this week, I don't care about anything that happens in FOMC week until after FOMC. It's literally totally irrelevant to me. Like, once today closes is the first time that I'm actually thinking, all right, where's a trade idea? This here right now, this looks nice, running out previous day's high here. If we close through this low, then I'd be open to shorting. That's fine for me, right? We get this daily continuation, daily change in state as well, so that's not bad. But in terms of FOMC week, I'm not putting up biases or calling shots prior to FOMC. It's just not my thing. But don't be surprised if this is the low and we just start trading higher, because that looks pretty clean as well. Let's see, chess course when when I can maybe beat you with some decency, It doesn't need to be that tight. Garrett, Kiko says you are a beast, sir. Maybe in my own way, but every head must bow, every tongue must confess. I'm not competing with Garrett in any way, shape, or form. That's just not happening. The way AM and Nico use change in state is way better. Many times I'm missing out on the whole expansion because I'm waiting for the perfect order block. I'm basically always onside or offside. You're always onside, but you're missing. Yeah, I mean, order block, definitions, specifics, all that stuff. The market respects up candles in a downtrend. The market respects down candles in an uptrend. That's as difficult as it needs to be, right? You see a reversal form, just trade the next, the next candle that's a down closed candle on the trend upwards. That's all you need. Inaccurate trades has showed up. Was the 2 p.m. short valid, bro? No, not at all. Gambling. Here goes Star 5000 Express. Holy! Kiko, I follow expansion models, so I know the other ways to take entries. I just want to filter it down until I get good at it, and then I can take other entries. So I'll do what you said for sure. Yeah, man. And get to backtesting. A lot of times people are working with feelings. Like, I feel like I should be trading at this time, or I feel like I'm missing setups, so I'm going to go trade Asia. Well, feelings is not going to get you far. You got to at the very least, open your backtest charts and just get like 50, 100 trades in. See what happens over a course of time when you're taking specific setups and see what the results are like, and then you can actually filter it out. You're trying to be professional, he knows it all when he starts explaining. Yes. Next gamble stream. When's the next high impact news event? I mean, right now obviously, but 2:30 longs gamble. Let's go for that. It was really unsided bias, so we could fade the 2 p.m. candle and get in with OB on M3 with SMT. What makes this one-sided? What about this screams one-sided to you? Let me just ask that. What do you use to backtest? TradingView or FX Replay? I use TradeZella. I have FX Replay as well, but it's not really working for me, so I use TradeZella and I used to use FX Replay. They both work. Failure swings at the lows, protected low at the lows. This could have gone either way. There's failure swings on the highs. FOMC could come in like a rocket and rip up. I'm not going to condone any pre-FOMC trading and accept it as a valid setup. Trade every M1 CSD for 2 years, then you have no feelings. That should probably work. Hello everyone, I live in the UK and work full-time, so don't get in until 5 p.m. The FX liquidity is mostly gone, so does anyone have the systems for NASDAQ or SP in the afternoon? Thanks. Could probably ask Afiz about this, because he understands the PM session quite well. I'd spam him. Just spam him. Okay, someone asked about a top-down. Who is it? If he doesn't ask again, then I'm gonna skip that, because it's... Hafiz. He's also got a Discord, and he does really good with PM trading. He understands it very well. I think Ronald is recording. Do not redeem it! Why did you redeem it? You did not have to do this. You did not have to do this, sir. Why did you redeem it? Top down. Okay, I'm doing a top down. Oh, 1 second. Which stats would you recommend activating on TradeZilla to help analyze your trades, in particular to help eliminate unnecessary trades? You know what? I can just put this out. Give me a second. Because this is not lens specific. I'm gonna just put it in my channel. Kiko. What is all this Kiko's group? Here we go. This video is a full breakdown of me going through TradeZilla stats, talking about the metrics, explaining how to analyze your TradeZilla journal and what can be derived from it. It's about 20 minutes. You do yourself a real favor watching that, not just because I did it, but because you generally just be doing yourself a favor. Kiko giving free lens guys redeem. Well, this one's not lens. This is not lens content. This was just something that I decided to do. So I'm open to sharing that. That's not a problem. If it was lens specific, then I'd get fired. I wouldn't get fired, but I'd be worthy of firing. Do you know that SMC? Do you know that SMT secret that Garrett talked about? Kiko. No idea what you're talking about, dude. No clue. My day is going well. Thank you for asking, Unfreaky Guy. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a top down. I'm gonna try and take it for a trading day that let's go for last week's Wednesday, because this was a really nice trading day. And then I'm gonna delete this, and I'm gonna do that. Actually, we have to go even further back. So here's how I would approach my top down. This was probably even much better of an example. Yeah, we're gonna do this. This is a much better example. So starting top down, looking at the market here on the week of 16th of April, we've got this high, Thursday's high, and we've got Thursday's low, which is a range, right? The market is trading internally between this high and this low. Therefore, we're looking for it to run out a level to then reverse or go through. And so watching the day's trade, we let Monday pass. Monday trades down into this low. ES closed above it. It had a nice strong signature. And then what that gives us is the first idea of a potential swing formation. So that's how I start initially. These are all things you can also find in the blueprint. But I'm plugging it because it's paid. I make millions of dollars off it. Anyways, running out this low, that's the first idea. We've got a daily objective that's been met. We're expecting a reversal to form off of this low. Therefore, we're looking for Tuesday to trade higher. From that point on, I'm just going to go into the hourly, and I'm going to take it step by step. I'll be deleting all the markups. Let's go to here. There we go. So here's our range on the hourly chart, much more defined here, much easier to see. We've got all these failure swings on these highs. We run out this objective. We want to see the market react off of that. We do get a reaction off of that. Market comes back inside. On ES, this is a change in the state of delivery. NASDAQ did not print the intermezzo candle right here. It was a rather neutral / bearish close, but this was a change in state on ES. And so my expectation going into Tuesday is that I expect the market to be trading higher. So coming from the daily, we've established daily reversal, looking for Tuesday to trade higher. Now I just take it in and I start looking at the daily profile. So what do we have here? Asia opens right there. Let's get this level over here. This is our Asia open. We open, trade higher from Asia immediately. Market trades around a bit, puts in this down closed candle, and then we see a closure through it. So right at this point, what I can say is that the market formed a reversal down here based on the daily logic. The daily profile so far is shaping up to be an Asia low of the day. Yes, cat. Let me get this terrorist here. 1 second. So the profile is shaping up to be an Asia low of the day. Terrorism, absolutely. And we've got this down close candle, which we close through, which confirms the structure, meaning that in order for our day to be invalid, the market would have to trade through this level, this low right here. Therefore, we are assuming that this low should stay in place because we are bullish, and we should see the market trade higher into previous day's high and possibly the weekly open. So from this point on, you could hop into a 15-minute chart, honestly, and then you're looking at it like this. You've got the draw above here, you've got a reversal here. Asia is our low of day. The profile is confirmed here by this hourly change in state of delivery or continuation, and then we just wait for a signature to form right around our kill zone. So let's go forward here a bit. We're gonna wait for 9:30 to come around. Run out this low right here. Still watching that we remain in respect to this level. This is 7:15. Market runs a low once again. And now we get the closure through. So for the people who like to trade pre-market or pre-9:30, this would be your setup. You can look to position yourself long on this here and trade up into this high. But the way that I would go about this is I would drop lower once more to a 5-minute chart and look to take another entry. So I can skip a couple of candles here. Yes, he's not hungry, by the way. He just likes to nag. I know people are going to go crazy for it, but he's just on the seat nagging. All right, we've got one here. That's a potential entry if you're willing to take this. Because I'm waiting for 9:30, I'm just going to let this one pass. So we skip again, and we skip again. And I'm going to go to a 4-minute chart here because I know that the signature forms on the 4-minute. So I'm going to work with hindsight. But let's go here, here. This is 9:04. Heading into the open. Let's see, when does this come in? Not yet. Okay, right here. This formed the closure. So there you have a closure. And then you could be looking to do something like this. Get your stop on that low. This is not a trade I would personally take because I don't trade prior to 9:30 in this sort of situation. But I'm saying if you'd want to get in prior to the open, and then you're looking for this as your draw, and then the open would come in and either expand away or knock you out, which is why you shouldn't want to be entering right here. But I think since I'm doing this hindsight, I'm pretty sure that the open moved without running out this low. Let's see if I'm wrong. It did not. Rest in peace, my hopes. There we go. So this would be a signature then after the open runs that out. This is, what is this, 9:36. So 9:30 runs out this low, and then you get the continuation signature through. You get an entry in on there, and then you ride that same draw, same idea. And this trade does end up panning out as far as I can remember. There we go. So that's the top down, essentially. Where the bear's at. Crazy. You always have that high R? No. That was just for example's sakes. That's not a trade that I'm taking on most days or anything like that. 1 second, let me go see what the cat needs, maybe because he's got to use the bathroom or something. All right, found a way to keep him distracted. I've got beef jerky. I'm gonna start feeding him on this seat so that he allows me to work in peace. There we go. This one. All right, let's see. We've got more questions in chat. Kiko, while backtesting, I found that. Oh wait, let me go a bit higher. Bro, when you trade continuation, H4, example 6 a.m. continuation, 10 a.m. continuation. I don't trade like that, so I'm not qualified to answer that question. Sorry. Sorry. Kiko, while backtesting, I found some days that ES and NQ are pretty correlated. Do you stay out on those conditions? Yes. Unless it's a buy day, where that's normal, at least in my experience. and ES will catch up or Nasdaq will catch up, I'm generally just staying out if the indexes are not aligned, because that speaks for low probability conditions. Meow. It's crazy, right? Meow is better in structures. Isn't that a failure swing? Which one? Bro hasn't fed his cat in days. Alright, guys, slow it down. PM session started, Gip Sig. Wait for the day to close and buy the next M15 candle into previous week's high. Show photo of your emancipated cat, bro. Do you want me to actually send one in here? You guys would not believe how fat he is. 1 second. I'm about to beat the haters' allegations. This guy's big. He's munching away as we speak. Let me see. That. I'm gonna pop it in indices and paste it in this chat. There we go. Some guy full ported his account during non-farm payroll in indices chat. That's crazy. Alright, here's the terrorist. Kiko, do you trade your own expansion model or GXT? I trade my own. I don't use GXT. And now he's quiet, huh? He's munching away and he's quiet. He's a freaking terrorist. He wants me to give up my... I'm not gonna say it. So is for our profiling used with expansion model? Nope. And that's exactly why I say that it's ideal for me, because it allows me to be more discretionary. I don't need those H4 candles to line up the closures and whatnot. Cat's looking for its first feed in 2025. Too brutal, man. Yes. How long did it take you to get the knowledge to go through a chart like that? I mean, I can only speak for as long as I've been trading, so about since August 23, like, what are we talking? 19 months, 20 months now? 20 months. Alright, now he's gonna really start meowing because he has no idea what to do. And I've left the office. There we go. Kiko, how many trades do you average a month/week? 1 second. I'll get to that. So in my case, this is not the case for everyone, and especially not for people who trade the way that I do, but in my specific case, it generally averages around to 3 to 4 trades a month, or 1 trade a week. Some weeks I'll be getting 2 trades, maybe even 3 in, but for the majority of the time it's going to be 1 trade. Frantically searches internet for photo. Do you trade Forex? No, I do not, as a matter of fact. Bro is not verified. I'm literally verified. I mean, you can't even negate that. And you're not verified, Stana, so... I mean, that must mean something, man. That must mean something. Do you full port that 1 trade then? Yeah, I do it on non-farm payroll like you, man. That's just how I roll. That's what keeps me going. What is Reaper fair value gap? Reaper fair value gap is when you have a fair value gap that gets violated 17 times and then just works all of a sudden. That's what that is. So 1 to 2 trades per week is good to become a wealthy trader, I guess. Yeah, I do think so. I don't think you need more than that if you're risking accordingly. If you're risking 1% a trade or 0.5%, then you've got issues. I mean, you gotta take a long, hard look in the mirror if you're taking 2 trades, if you're taking 1 trade a week and risking 0.5%. I mean, you've really got some things to think about. 17, what happens if it retests 18 times? Then it's an in-Reaper fair value gap, which is basically the inverse Reaper. Can you drop some sauce? No, I don't have sauce. Sauce is BS. What is everything do you use? Do you use a lot of things to get an entry? I don't use much at all. I literally have... I mean, in terms of my tools, it's just this for the entry because I'm entering on an order block, and it's just this for marking the reversal level. These are the only two things that are actually on my chart when I'm taking a trade. Everything else I don't need. So it's just marking out the levels that I'm looking for market to reverse from or to draw towards, and then just marking my entry signature so that I'm alarmed at the close and I can get in. That's literally all that there is to it. I know it's very complicated, but I like to make things complicated. I've been made to believe I need to trade a lot. Lol, like Garrett. I must detach and learn the expansion model. I love how Nico trades, so I want to trade like him. Yeah, I mean you can even ask Nico. I'm pretty sure he'd be open-minded to answering you some questions, but you have to see what your style is like. I noticed quite early on that I don't do well trading a lot and on small time frames. I used to somewhat manage with that, and then I had to swallow the tough pill, which was that it's not really working the way I thought it was. And from there on out, I just started transitioning into lower frequency, higher confirmation, and less trades, so to say. Do you risk 2%? Sneaky asks. I risk 10%. And I am not live in YouTube, no. And you asked that twice. Trade right now, Kiko, no balls. I'm good, man. I'm good. I got live accounts, start balance $50. Tell me risking per trade. Is that serious or troll? What if Garrett is faking it? LOL. I wish he was because that would make my conscience clear, but I know he isn't, so it drives me even more crazy. I've seen Garrett's stuff. I've seen his accounts. I've seen the balances. I've seen his trades. Um, it's a bit of a wake up call every day to see him doing it, but we chillin', we chillin'. There's always gonna be a bigger fish. If he was faking it, that would make my life so easy. Why Kiko hates me? What do you mean, why do I hate you? Why do you also keep saying that, man? Are you obsessed with me or something? It's like the fourth time you've asked why I hate you. You want me to apologize? I do risk 10%. What do you want? What do you want with that? You want me to risk 2? Think I'm an idiot or something? Should I mute Udron? That would be funny, honestly. Get him out. Let's see. Garrett been trading for 6 years. Backtested all data possible. Yeah, like he's got literally hundreds of hours on FX replay, and he's been trading for months. So he's a beast. How often do you trade PM? Never. I do not trade the PM session. You thought I was joking about risking 10? Nope, I am not. I risk 10%. That's been my standard. Go long Nasdaq? Not now, not yet. I'm waiting for tomorrow. It's much easier to trade this tomorrow. I can let this day close and be more safe, because this is looking pretty nice right now. I got 6 hours, 100 hours on Overwatch, 100 on FX replays, nothing, bro. Yeah. You can only figure that 600 hours on Overwatch never made you any money, though. So I don't know how that's working. I wonder if I should combine GXT with expansion model. You can't combine them. GXT is one thing and expansion model is another. T-Trade's fractal model is essentially the foundation of trading GXT, which is just using the 4-hour profiling in a mechanical sort of manner where you're looking for certain daily closures and then lower time frame alignments on the 4-hour, 1-hour, whatever. So if you're trading the expansion model, that's not something you use at all anymore. What you could do is trade the expansion model, but only trade after 10 a.m. open milo close. Like that might work. But if you're going to trade the expansion model and you're needing 4-hour reversals from the 6-hour candle and stuff like that, you're going to start noticing that the frequency gets down there, and then it's not really doing what it's meant to do. It's not working the way you wanted it to. I think this is my problem. I see the charts and I want to pull the trigger. How do I combat this? I mean, get a grip. Not to sound offensive, but get a grip. Like this is not a children's daycare, right? You gotta have some self-control over yourself and understand what your model is and when your model isn't there, you just don't trade. Like it's not hard. It's obviously hard to not do it, but what you have to do to change that is not hard. You literally just need to not trade, you know? So you just need some self-control. Kiko, with lower frequency approach, how much do you recommend to risk of drawdown? 15-20%? Yeah, I think actually, yeah, if you're trading like a prop challenge, 25% of drawdown, if we're talking lower frequency and higher risk, is probably a good amount. That's probably pretty comfortable because that gives you 4 trades, right? That's 4 trades in the bank that you can lose before blowing the account. If your statistics speak for it, you shouldn't lose 4 in a row unless manual intervention, right? If you have a 64% win rate and you trade 4 trades in a row, the chance of each of them being a loser comes out to around 1.3%, I believe. So that means that the percentage chance to lose the first, then lose the second, then lose the third, and then the fourth. So in terms of, if you understand that, you understand the statistics work, and you can be mechanical about your actual trading, then you should be fine. Kiko, how much year took you to be profitable and how you find ICT concept? So funny enough, I was just on, like, I had a person I knew in real life who told me about trading, who recommended me it, and I never picked it up. And then eventually I was sort of in a tricky spot in life, and then I was watching Instagram reels or something, and I seen like these trades, like this trade execution stuff, and there was this guy called Silver Bullet Sniper on Instagram, and I just slid in his DMs because I was amazed by it. I was like, wow, what is this trading thing, and how is he doing this, and how does he know where the market's gonna go? Because I see that he marks levels and then it goes there and moves away. And then I just hit that guy up, and he pointed me to ICT. So the very first thing I learned trading wise was ICT. I started right from there, and then after that I stuck with it. I kept working on it. Profitable took me probably about a year and 3 months, maybe 4 months. Like starting last year towards fall is when I started seeing the first, sort of consistent gains. And since then, it's just been good. Where are you based? In the UAE. I'm in the hot sun. Expansion model is AM trades, trading model. Should I look for a 5-minute change in state when price comes back under hourly change in state range? I'm not sure I understand that question. Sorry. When Lambo? Still a couple of years, brother. I'm not there yet. You need some good money to buy a Lambo. In your opinion, do you always need SMT to take trades? No, not at all. I know a lot of people are very firm on that, but most of my trades do not have any SMT behind them. It's not a necessity for me. There's times where it'll be present, and it's a positive confluence, but it's not a deal breaker for me if I'm taking a trade. So I'll easily trade with or without it. How do you use equilibriums, discount, and premium on the higher time frame? I mean, pretty much the same as you would with anything else. Let's say I'm on the daily chart here. Let me pull this up, get rid of these markups. Like for instance, right here, we've got this swing high that forms, and then we make this low. So here you just be stretching this from the high to the low, and then we make that low and we come back into a level of equilibrium. It's as simple as that, right? You're measuring out the highest high within that range to the lowest low and looking for a retracement back into the midpoint of that range. What higher time frame, lower time frame do you use as a combine? What? What's that mean? What do you think about this analysis? Not much there for me to work with. I only see the 5-minute chart. Can't really comment. Are you Lebanese? I am not, in fact, but I'd like to be. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's not my car. That is not my car. Every answer is, what is this question? Can't comment, GG's. Yes. Why don't you answer that question, Odron? He means time frame alignment. Yeah, okay, but the time frame alignment as a combine. That's what I'm trying to understand here. Is he referring to, I mean, would I trade differently in a combine with different time frame alignment? It's a bit of an open-ended thing. Arsenal or PSG? I don't keep up with soccer, man. I couldn't really care, honestly. Do you need news on the day to trade Forex? I don't think it's a necessity, but the thing with Forex is that you don't have volatility drivers outside of news. Like you don't have an open like we do in indexes. And so for the sake of aligning certain daily profiles for more confirmation and for really framing good reversal levels, I think it's ideal to have news drivers when you're trading Forex, but it's not a necessity. Shame on you calling it soccer. What am I gonna do? It's called soccer. That's all there is to it. I mean, they didn't invent the word for nothing, right? I've already started with GXT. I should just probably focus on backtesting now on Master GXT, I suppose, since there's no ideal model there. It's based on experience and the person's interest. Yeah, get a feel for it. See how your results are like. See what it comes out to. You can do that for both. You can do that the same with the expansion model, and then just weigh your options. Right? You want to be working from a position where you understand your options and where you know the drawbacks and advantages. But you can't have that if someone's just telling you, oh, it's good because of this, or it's bad because of this. So you want to be working with, your own data and your own understanding. I'm thinking of switching to futures for this reason. I mean, same thing. Index futures and Forex are two very, very different markets in the way that they move. I'm not one to say that I could pick up Forex tomorrow and do well. So it'll also take an adjustment period. Same thing goes there. Go into old price action, review it, backtest, see how it works, see how things go. Try to understand that market a bit more, and then you can roll with that. So I have to understand that I'm not Garrett and I can't trade 10 pairs. And it's no harm done in that, You'll be just fine. What is that one model that you trade more often? I only trade one model, which is my own, which is basically the expansion model. Matter of fact, I trade the expansion model. Let's roll with that. That makes things easy. When should you increase size on prop firms? If you've got a bit of a buffer built up on your prop accounts, then you can start to size up and maybe look for more potential on your positions as you've got more breathing room and you're not really dealing with the risks of drawdown and getting an account liquidated. But until then, you'd probably want to take it a bit slower. Can you please help me at one point? The 9 a.m. H1 was a valid C2 on NASDAQ today, so I took the... I'm sorry about this, but I literally... Okay, for one, I have no bias today. I'm completely neutral on the day, so I have nothing that I'd be willing to tell you regarding this price action that I actually have conviction about, right? Anything I tell you and I'm like, oh, this is what should have been and how it should have went, that's just me talking out of my ass, to put it bluntly. But secondary, I can't really comment on anything related to the fractal model in here because it's private content. Like, I'm just not entitled to go into detail on the model in here. Did you start in Forex? Nope, I actually didn't, funny enough. I started trading US 30. I was only trading US 30 every day. Yeah, so Mas, I'm sorry about that. Like, I hope, like, I don't mean to offend, but I literally, like, I just cannot comment on this and go into any explanations regarding the model. It's just not right. Can you show me how to become a good trader? I should be asking you that, man. What the hell? Sorry if this has been asked already. Ignore if you don't want to answer. I won't ignore anything. For a 50K account, how many micro contracts do you recommend for NASDAQ? It's always going to come down to the amount you're trying to risk. I've seen price action where a micro would run me $600-700, a singular micro. And then I've seen price action where I can get in with 20-30 micros if I wanted to, and the risk is about the same. It's just based on the range of your stop loss, how many points it is, and the volatility in price. So you want to just select what you're looking to risk, and then you hop into your tool here like this, and you can just start to adjust here. For instance, this is set to 1,000. This would tell me how much contracts I should risk of a mini, when I'm looking to take a trade for a certain amount of dollar risk, and then you just adjust based on that. You always want to be working with the same amount of risk, and some days you'll have more micros, some days less, but you'll be risking the same. So for that, you'd want to be just using that. Yeah, I just got recommended US30. I didn't know anything about trading at the time, so I just picked it up, and then I was like, all right, this is trading. And I had no idea about NASDAQ. I didn't know about what the NASDAQ even was, and I was just figuring it out. Juice is in the house, by the way. We've got a real verified killer in here. Do you use optimal trade entry? I do not, as a matter of fact. Not necessary for me. T-Trade's YouTube videos are good. Is there a big difference in information in his paid mentorship? Does he go through his complete model from start to finish? Yeah, so he does. The advantage of being in the mentorship is the environment for one, and secondary, the course content as well as educational things that are done. For instance, we've got weekly streams from not only T-Trades and AM, but the other instructors like myself, Nico, and Garrett. And so when you join in and you learn the model, you get to have the assistance from the experienced people regarding that, and that's what sort of builds on it. But as far as I'm concerned, the model could also be reverse engineered from his YouTube alone, or even from looking at trade executions. My usual risk is 200, but sometimes I feel like it's not enough. Yeah, so that comes, once again, that's the same thing. You know, risk is, it's one part of the risk is how much you're comfortable with losing, but the second part is how many trades you're getting. If you're trading a lot, like you're scalping and you're getting multiple trades a week, then risking 200 is a pretty good amount because you're expecting to get multiple R, right? You're getting a lot of trades in, and it's sort of balancing out. But if you're getting very few trades and then you're just risking 200, it can start to seem like you're not really getting anywhere. And that's where you should start to open up the conversation of, should I be increasing my risk since my frequency has been reduced? That's how you balance out the scales of getting R multiples, but also working with your risk. Currently 2.5 years trading past challenges and had a few payouts, currently funded, but hit and miss sometimes now. Closer than ever, just gotta stick with it. That's good to hear, man. You're on the right path. You're doing good. There's a lot of uncertainty that comes when you start seeing consistent results or any results in terms of money made from trading, and it can be very off-putting and can be very uncomfortable at first, but that's just a transition period, and you'll get through that, and then it just booms, you know. Have a good one, Kennard. Good to hear that you are satisfied with the answers. I'm trading on 200k fifth DMO challenge right now and like in a 6 loss streak. I decided to 1.8 my risk, which was 1 before. Plan to scale up with experience and time by 2x for 4 times and reach final size. Is that logical? Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to recover the account, I think this is something that MMXM Trader teaches in his course. Halving and then doubling on the way back up might make sense because it can cover for losing streaks and winning streaks. The only issue is that if you win every second trade and you lose every second trade essentially, and you keep doubling and halving risk, you're break even forever, if that makes sense, right? Because you just keep losing what you made on the prior trade, because the prior trade where you're getting a win, you're only making half of what you would usually make, and then that sort of can cause some issues. I think that the more fixed you can get your risk and the more comfortable you can just be with risking the same amount, the better. But if your account is in deep drawdown, then maybe pick a number you're comfortable with and just work that up slowly, get a bit more breathing room on the account, and then start trading with a bit more. Is it okay to chart NASDAQ ES trade on CFD? Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do, honestly. I think that's how I would go about it in any case. Is that creme brulee? Why did you not rifts? You gotta heat up the top so that the sugar melts and then hardens. You gotta heat up the top, baby. Kiko is saying there's no tomorrow, full port today. Hell yeah, brother, we got a full port right now. Thanks for the coaching. Need to drop off. Have a good one, man. See you around. This is looking interesting. Tomorrow might be the first day this week that there's some daily context to work with, which means that maybe we can trade. Tradey. Ain't no one got time for that. It makes it all the more tasty though, man. Appreciate it, Erendao. I'll see you around, brother. Happy to help. The champions in 2 minutes. What is that? I mean, scaling up like per 2 weeks or 1 month when I see my win rate goes up and I'm getting better. Yeah, you could do it. I mean, you could do it time fixated, but then again, if you're still finding, okay, honestly, as long as your win rate's going up, if you start to base it on the time spent, then that might make sense. Yeah. Why is everyone saying goodbye, by the way? Y'all thought I was leaving? I mean, I can, but I didn't say I would. We gotta run some more chess, though, maybe. Having a rough day here. Hello, Wai Xiong. Did I hear chess? Yeah, you know what, Milan? You and I are gonna run it. In the cool place, you know. Just got stopped out at my 1 minute CSD low on MNQ and price got 2 TP. Where? What happened here? This is nice. What's the Fed speaker saying, by the way? Is anyone keeping tabs? Anyways, let's go last round of questions, and then I'm gonna bounce, guys. I gotta play some chess. I have priorities. This is what I got. Some executions. Executions. I love chess, but I'm rusty. Think you'd probably beat me, no problem. Yeah, you gotta start the grind, brother. We're not even traders anymore. We're just chess players these days. Is there a different approach when trading Nasdaq? I'm trading gold. Yeah, it's a bit different because you've got the 930 driver. In terms of the vague sort of image, it's not really different because price action is pretty much the same across all markets in the grand scheme of things. But on the intraday basis, you're gonna have 930 come in with volatility every single day, and that can sort of make a difference. What's your rating? 1240 right now. It was 1250. No, I lost against someone earlier, and he was lower rated, and it was a rated game, so I lost a lot. But 1240 right now. Can you say execution in French? I have no idea how to, and I'm not French nor Spanish. No. 1250 Smurf. You wish. How many years have you been trading? Closing in on 2 years now in August. Is there like a guide or a specific approach to the models once I join the premium Discord? Something like a guidance? I mean, it's pretty straightforward once you do join. You just navigate to the WAP where you find all the courses and the course material. You go through that, and then from there on out, you can just head into the Discord and start interacting with other members. You'll see outlooks being posted, education being done, and questions can be answered, and that's pretty much the bottom line. Use Kiko affiliate link. Yeah, the one in my bio. And you can fully rely on trading income. If push comes to shove, I could, yes. I'm confident in saying that now. A couple of weeks ago, I would have maybe not said that, but at this point, I'm pretty certain that I could, yes. I'm up 11% on my 6K account, and it's only 7 days. Am I rushing it? My payout is in May 16. Oh, that's pretty nice. Maybe take it slow until your payout comes around, secure the cash, and then go back into crazy mode. You don't want to be going too fast. Yeah, honestly though, Rixie, I'm not trying to make it seem like that's a realistic time span to find consistency. I've been really lucky. I mean, about as lucky as a human can get when starting trading is what I've been, because I started right away with ICT concepts. Not even a month into it, I was in this Discord. 2 months after that, I was already doing some bit of education in here for those who remember those days. And then I was just picking up the pace, picking up the pace. T-Trades used to mentor me privately, and then it just from there on it just spiraled, right? I was always on a good path. I never really led astray and got caught up in things that didn't work or went down the wrong roads. So I was streamlined to where I am today. Is the lens informative in real time with other mentors in the chat? I feel would be a big help if tracking a live market and having more experienced set of eyes. So there's no signals provided. I'll get that straight. The instructors will be open to answering any questions you have, even during market hours, even if they're related to price. And I myself put out the bias for every single given day, and I do hint towards levels that are of significance in terms of taking a trade, and those levels can then be used. But there's never a time where I'm saying buy this or sell this or anyone else's. And you'll get live feedback as the day is trading. Some people reserve the right to not be in chats while the market is open, because obviously we've got our own trading to do. But for the most part, you'd be well off with that. You did not trade triangles? No, I did not. I got lucky. If I were to start again, I would want to start with fixing my risk management rather than going straight into the strategies. The risk management is included in the models, but that's only like a fractional part of it. So if you're joining for that alone, then probably sensible to get everything else in as well while you're at it. How long have you been trading, Kiko? Almost 2 years now. I started in August 2023. I'm closing in on 2 years. Anniversary soon. Yay. Giveaway then? You want me to do a giveaway on my anniversary? How's it 3 years if it's 2? What? It's 2 years. Well, it's almost 2. It's not 3. Do you trade multiple Apex accounts? No, I do not. Yeah, I get that. Not after signals. People need to learn to trade for themselves, which I can, but the accuracy I see from lens members is top notch. Would like to be able to do that too. Yeah, I think then if you're looking to get that sort of thing, I initially joined to improve my weekly range understanding, and then I picked up a lot of things on the go, and it's been nothing but helpful. Obviously, I have the luxury of not having to pay for it. I'm just hanging out in there since ages, but it's still worth the pay if you ask me honestly. Did you full port Fed rate? No, I did not. Have you always preferred the expansion model, or did you start with another model and transfer to expansion after being able to achieve profit objectives with risk reward? I already traded the way that the expansion model works before I traded the expansion model. So once I picked up the teachings, it was only a slight bit of adjustments made to my system to then sort of really get into that mold as to where it's very, very close to the expansion model. So there wasn't really much to say there. The preference was there because it was already what I was doing from prior, and so that just fit like a glove essentially. What's the indices kill zone times? I think 2 to 5 for London is not a bad time of day. Asia, I'm not sure. So I always hear something else. But then New York, I think 7 to 11 is a good window. Ideally 8:30 to 11. What's the core difference that you changed to your own way from expansion? Do you mean like what I got rid of from my old model that I learned in expansion, or what's the difference between how I trade now and expansion? Should I be interested in longs or just close the charts, bro? Bro, just close the charts. Just enjoy your day. Tomorrow's another day. Leave some gunpowder. I remember the times you were doing daily live streams before open and took your signal while driving. Those are good days, man. Those are good days. Best days. 7 a.m. is Forex? Yes, 7 a.m. is Forex as well. For indices, I would allow myself the courtesy of trading from 7 a.m. starting because of recent notices that I have made. What prop firm would you recommend? FunderNext got new rules. I think Top Step. Just go for Top Step. Top Step's the best thing. Like, what did you change from expansion model to your own? I mean, just the addition of I think the firm addition of the, what's it called? The opening range, and then certain things regarding market conditions, and also the range protocol intraday. Those are like things that are more, that things that I'm more specialized in, that lean onto it, but weren't inherently there. And then the rest of it is just expansion, pretty much. I remember Kiko's in summer. Best time, and summer 24 was a blast. Alright guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there though. It's been dope. I think we're going to do another one of these in 2 weeks. This is going to start to become a bit more recurring. So you'll have to get used to me being around. I hope that's not a problem. Have a good day, guys. Don't blow your accounts on the aftermath of FOMC. And I'll see you all